Hi, welcome to EDUC 325 Children's Literature. I'm Andy Steck. I'm your instructor for the next 10 weeks, and I'm looking forward to working with you. And we're looking at the new Blackboard, Ultra Blackboard, that the university is transitioning or upgrading to. The administration has given us a year for this transition, so some of your professors will have already transitioned to the new Ultra. Some are staying back in the classic view, and will transition over the year. And we all have to be on Ultra by fall of 21. So I've decided to work really hard this summer and put this together for you. I hope it doesn't confuse you. I will take the blame for any of the technology problems you have using Ultra Blackboard. If I fouled something up or did something wrong, I will make sure that I correct it. You will not be at fault for that, and you will not have less points given to you for something that I may have done. I'm a little nervous about this. I'm hoping you'll give me some grace and some patience, and I will do the same for you because I know it's a learning curve when you start using something new or different, but I know we will persist. We have resilience, and we'll make it through. We're making it through the pandemic, and we will make it through Ultra Blackboard as well. Anyways, I'm also very excited. It's something new and different, and hopefully it will be easier to use than what was the classic Blackboard. Anyways, I'm going to just point out a few things. We have two menus. The menu that is most important to you now is not the one on the left side like it used to be here. It's this menu right here down the center, and I'm going to explain that in just a few minutes. I just want to run over this left-hand menu just in case there is something that you are interested in and would like to see. So we have the roster here, and that's you can view everybody who's in the course. There's a course description, and there's attendance. I will be taking care of that. There will be groups that you'll be joining. This is very important announcements. It should come via your email, but if it doesn't, let me know because that's what I'm expecting. Then that way you'll know when the week opens, and you'll know if we have any other announcements that I need to give you during that time. Books and tools I have not used as readily yet, and the conversion is if we're converting the class over to, and you won't need to use that as well, from my understanding. But as I said, this is the most important menu, and these are all of the work is categorized or in folders, and these are module folders, and we have several here. We're going to get to the syllabus in the weekly schedule. If I click on that, you'll see the syllabus, and I will run through the syllabus with you. We'll do an overview of the syllabus, and also there is the weekly schedule that has the due dates for all of the discussion groups for the books that you'll be discussing in your literacy circles. It will be also the major assignments, because as you might know already, we have every week we have activities on a certain topic, but there are also some major assignments that are due along the way. In this class, they're mostly toward the end of the class, so beware. So there's a lot of reading in this class, so get caught up on reading so that you're not trying to read and also try to do major assignments. But I will walk you through that as well. I think the most important out of all of the modules is the weekly learning module. This is the one you will go to every single week and click on. And if you see here, here is week 1. And I'm going to click on what you see in week 1. You'll see a drop box that has all the activities listed that you will put your responses into that drop box. And there is also this week in introductions that I'll show you in regards to that when we get to the week 1 explanation. I will always send you a video with the weekly module so you can hear what I have to say and then go ahead and do the work. And if you have questions at any time, please don't hesitate to email me. Major assignments are all in here. Again, if you look here, you'll see they're all due toward the end of the semester. Don't say, wow, I don't have anything to do. Yes, you have a lot of reading to do. Besides reading the textbook, you also are reading 8 books that are required reading, and then you have 24 books. Most of those are picture books that you will also be reading for your virtual library, your self-selected virtual library, which is another assignment that I will be explaining along the way. I do have the assignments explained briefly in the syllabus, but you want to click on this major assignments folder and find the major assignment and click on that, because that gives you all the details. I can't put all this information in the syllabus, otherwise it would be like a book. And so what I have done is put a synopsis of the major assignment, a description of it, and I put all the details here, and you'll find those here. And I'll explain those as we go along as well. Those are the major assignments. You will all be involved in a literacy circle that you're going to discuss a book almost on a weekly, not quite, because there are 8 and we have 16, so maybe every other week, but some weeks there'll be one after the other, and there are some picture books and some novels, and there'll be an explanation for those as well. But you can find out which literacy circle you're in. This will be the Dropbox, because you'll be recording your discussions and dropping those recordings into the Dropbox, of course, posting them in the Dropbox. But here is the document for the literacy circle, so you can find out whether you're an A, B, or C. And then if you look here in this book list, if you are in group A, you will use the list for group A. If you are literacy circle B, you will all use the list that's only for literacy circle B. And of course, if you're C, you will use the C list. We will be working with objectives for the most part, not lesson plans, but objectives. But here's a folder about objectives and lesson planning that might be important for you to take a look at, especially when we go to write objectives. You'll be creating an objective for every book posting that you create, and I'll explain that a little bit more to you as well. And then there is information about the Educational Studies program. Here's the handbook, and here's information about me more if you need that as well. And that pretty much is the overview. I know I did this very quickly, but I'll be spending more time with you on this as we go along. What I do need to go through with you is the syllabus and review that now, and we will take care of that right now. So I'm going to click on the syllabus. And hopefully that should pop up. There it is right here. I knew it would. I'm just going to bring that up. So my office hours are on Tuesday morning from 11. It says to 11:30, but it's really as long as I need to talk to students, and it's going to be longer than that. It'll be at least to noon. So if you click on any time between 11 and noon, but you can also make an appointment with me if that's not a convenient time, whether you might be working yourself at that time, you may have family responsibilities at that time. I completely understand. So do not hesitate to say, can we have some time to talk? I will be very glad to honor that for you, and pretty much I'm really flexible that I can probably find the time that works for both you and me. The course description: this course is designed to introduce students to children's literature with an emphasis on developing an aesthetic and critical response to literature, experiencing and appreciating a breadth of genres and a variety of authors and illustrators. Creative ways to use literature with children will be investigated. Students will begin to use children's literature as a teacher in an elementary or middle school classroom. These are the outcomes. They're pretty much tied to the major assignments, but you could read through these yourself. And we're going to spend a lot of time working on evaluating quality literature. We're going to be looking at various issues related to children's literature. We're going to write critically, and we're going to make some analysis of children's literature. And we're looking at some different approaches of how we use it in the classroom. We're looking at literacy circles that you're going to be a part of. We're going to talk about some author studies and a read aloud. And then you're going to access some professional resources for children's literature and look at some contributions that outstanding authors and illustrators have given to us in children's literature. And then you're also going to look at visual elements of children's literature. The required textbook is this Literature and the Child. It is the 8th edition. I know there are newer editions. You're welcome to use the newer edition. The page numbers may be off, but I'm keeping it at the 8th edition because it's less expensive for you, because I know there are some other books that you'll be purchasing along the way in this course, and so you'll need to, or at least renting, or at least looking for the least expensive way to find the books you need to read, the children's literature you need to read. So I'm looking at this as being less expensive. Maybe eventually we'll have to upgrade it to the more expensive book, the more updated book. But right now, you're welcome to use the newer edition. If you can't find the 8th edition, don't panic. We'll work it out. These are the assignments at a glance. These are the conversion chart once you know your points at the end of the semester, and you do the calculations for your percentage, and then you can do the conversion to the letter grade. If you have a disability or need accommodation, please just ask me. You can go through the Accessibility Services Director if you'd like to. You're more than welcome to. But if you have an accommodation and you need something from me, just please say something. And I will very readily help you to accommodate you for whatever you need in this class. There is a late work policy. You can read that. There's classroom conduct. These are pieces that I need to put in regards to information. Here's the social justice. If you feel that you're being discriminated against or that you have an incident of social injustice, you can use this form and click on that. Here are some attendance policies that you can read through on your own. Your attendance is what the work you do every week. If you don't do the Workly Week online, then I don't know that you're in attendance, and that's how I take attendance. Give credit to anybody whose material you're using. Don't use it as your own. Just cite the source, and that's all you need to do to stay honest and avoid plagiarism. Here are some additional resources and phone numbers and email addresses if you need those as well. This is the mission for the College of Education, which I think is very important in championing social equity for youth, adults, families, and communities by equipping and empowering scholarly, high-skilled practitioners, education advocates, and leaders, which I hope you will be. The vision is the LaFetro College of Education will lead the national conversation on advancing the careers of professionals and scholars who are highly competent advocates for equity and justice. Here are some goals for the college. And these are the dispositions which I do love. And I have one in particular that is my most favorite. If you know me already, you know that it's the social emotional learning. Are all the others important? Definitely. And you need all those if you're going to become a teacher. But I feel that the social emotional learning curriculum is just as important as the academic curriculum. And if you focus on the social emotional learning, you will have less classroom management and your students will respond to you in a much more positive and healthy way, and you will find that you will have so few discipline problems. This is the Title IX statement. Again, if you feel that you are experiencing interpersonal violence, any of this, you can send communication to the Title IX manager who will assist you in regards to that. Here are some of the assignments. Again, these are just a brief description. If you need more details, go to that, the major assignments folder on Blackboard and click on the individual major assignments. The first one is a virtual discussion. You are now going to be part of a literacy circle, and if you look at the literacy circle assignment, you will see which literacy circle and which list of books that your group will read. You will also discuss and record that discussion. One member of the group every week will record the discussion, and then you will blog about that book individually. Your discussion is with your literacy circle, but your blog is an individual response to the book you read and maybe to your discussion as well. And here is the information you're going to put in the Reader's Response blog. There are books that are assigned to each of these genres or these categories. And then here, you're going to add this information. There are 4 parts. You can read this through here, what needs to go in each part, and when it's due. It says it's due week 15, but you could turn it in as after each book you read and discuss and post, and you can turn in your blog on almost a weekly basis, and I can grade you cumulatively in your number of points. It's all worth 200, but each blog is worth 25 points. You put all that information in that you see here, then you will be able to see your points accumulate to the 200 points or whatever you receive. And you're always welcome on any of our assignments. These are the major assignments. Redo them to get the grade, the number of points you are want for that if you don't get it the first attempt. There'll be an author study with a partner, maybe with 3 or 4 people. We'll talk about that, and these are what you'll be doing to create that author study. There's a book trailer. A book trailer is like a movie trailer, and you're going to create one based on a book that you read. You're going to create a family literacy backpack. That's like homework for kids to take home and work with their families. And it's in lieu of maybe the weekly spelling list or the math assignment. You may pick weeks where the families have a chance just to read books and do some activities with the books, and you're going to create one of those. Before the pandemic, you would actually give it to a child, but now that we've had the pandemic, we are not going to give it to a child. And it's sad, and I'm sad about that, but at least you'll be able to create. In fact, you're going to create 2 of those, and you're going to provide ideas that the student or that the child would be able to create in regards to an activity with each of the books. We'll see more about that as we go along as well. You're also going to create a self-selected virtual library. These are 24 self-selected books. These are not books I have selected for you. They are not part of the 8 books that are required reading, but you are to pick it from the 8 genres that you're going to learn more about, and you're going to pick at least 3. 19 of those books are going to be picture books, so they're pretty easy to read. It won't take long to read those, but 5 of them must be novels that you'll read, chapter books. They can be upper elementary, they can be middle school, they can be young adult, whatever you'd like, but there will be 5 beyond the books you're reading in those 8 genres that you're going to have a discussion with your literacy group, and then you're going to blog about. And you're going to use Google Books for this. So if you haven't used Google Books, it's a fun technology to actually start building your children's literature library. You're also going to take a simulated library field experience. Before the pandemic, you would actually have gone out to a library, volunteered 15 hours in the library, and learned all about the library. But because of the pandemic and some of the libraries not open, and that's not a possibility now, we're going to actually do a simulated. You're going to look at some articles, some videos. You're going to interview a librarian. If you can't find a librarian, I have 5 librarians that I know of who would be willing to grant you an interview and talk about children's literature and what they do in regards to children's literature. So please, 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 if you can't find a librarian, you're welcome to try on your own. Please contact me and I will give you one, and try to do it before week 12 because it's due week 12 and it's awfully hard to interview a librarian and also try to write this reflective paper, because you're going to write about the 5 videos and the 5 articles, and you're going to write about your interview, and then you're going to give an overall reflection about this experience. Here's author study. And again, I think I saw that earlier, but I put it in twice here. But anyways, here is again, and again, you're going to work with a partner or 3 people. I haven't decided yet for sure, but I'll let you know. And you're going to actually post a video about the author and 2 activities that our classmates are going to do together, that your colleagues will do and submit to the Dropbox, and you'll actually go into the Dropbox and comment on their work. And last but not least is the final exam. And it is an e-portfolio. It's to showcase all of the major assignments you've done during the semester, to write a reflection about each of those, and then create a little resource area, resource page, resource component to your e-portfolio about artifacts that relate to children's literature, assignments maybe from other classes that relate to children's literature, maybe some of the activities from this, or some videos that you saw that you really liked that pertain to children's literature. And if you are a membership of any educational organizations, which you may not be at, and that's okay, and any other, and you're going to put this together as your final exam and submit that with a screencast explaining 3 questions. What assignment best represents you as a teacher who uses children's literature? Which assignment are you the most proud of? And which assignment may have been the most challenging for you? And again, this is due week 16 on Tuesday, by 11:59. Here's some information, and more information about me if you care to read that as well. And that is the syllabus review. If you have questions, please don't hesitate to ask me. If you need anything in regards to the syllabus or the course work, please let me know. Otherwise, I'll see you online.